You wanted a fast Audi, but you didn't have money to buy an RS car yet. So, you buy the next best thing.
And that's this, the Audi S3.
Or you buy your own S3 to build your own version of an RS car with a soul. So you buy this car and you build it up.
Either way though, one has to accept that the S3 is not the same thing as an RS car, and it will never be.
Let's start with the engine. This car gets a 4-cylinder turbo engine which puts out 280 horsepower and 380 Newton meters of torque, compared to the RS5 which puts out 380 horsepower and 480 Newton meters of torque with a 5-cylinder engine. Now, you can get this car as a 7-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual. The thing is, the Audi DSG system is pretty good, so I would recommend both of them, and both of them are driven via the Quattro system, which is an all-wheel drive system that we all love.
Price-wise, you can pick up an S3 anywhere from $23,000 and upwards, especially for the old years, and the car being reviewed right now is a 2015 version. An equal mileage RS3 will cost you double the price, but even a 2015 RS3 can cost you anywhere from $50,000 and upwards. Yes, for a 2015 car.
Honestly, that's why the S3 makes much more sense. It's half the price of an RS3. And before you go on with the video, like and subscribe, and a quick message. The Stables AU, which is a detailing shop here in Adelaide, is building this car to be one of the best S3s in the market right now. And we might be doing a series on this. So if you want to keep track of it, maybe drop a comment, we'll make a whole series about it.
Competitions, you got the M240i and the Golf R. It's a funny story. We tested out the Golf R and we never uploaded it due to a funny and interesting story which you may or may not know.
Now, mind you, this is a 10-year-old car, so let's talk about some of the cool features in this car.
Starting with the AC fan control, this is very similar to that of the RS3. It has not been in any of the other cars we have tested so far, and honestly, it's my favorite feature. Now, the interiors of Audis are pretty timeless compared to that of a Mercedes or a BMW. A 10-year-old Mercedes looks like a 20-year-old Mercedes, and a 10-year-old BMW looks like a 15-year-old one. But this is pretty simple, and that's also thanks to this infotainment system which pops up and you can hide it when you're not using it, and that way it's just classic. That's pretty cool for a 2014 car. Another very cool feature that this 2014 car gets that even 2024 cars don't get is its touchpad. So let me demonstrate. If I type in the letter A here, that's gonna pick up there, and let me type C, and that's gonna go C, and if I want to go back, just scroll back and that's gonna delete. This is a 2014 car. This is 2014 Audi technology. The S3 and the RS3 get the same seats. They are heated and honestly, they look pretty good.
However, there's a few features that are not so cool about the S3. Here's some.
The cup holders are in a awkward position, so when you go to access your AC controls, it might be a bit hard. Moving on, here you have the pouch buttons that remind you that you do not have the fully spec version of this car. You could have bought the RS3. Despite this being a sedan, this has limited space in the back, so a person like me who's 5'8" or 5'10" has limited space, and for legal reasons we are not getting Dinuk to try this out.
Now, this S3 is a 10-year-old car, but I really can't say that it looks 10 years old because it looks like a 2019-2020-ish car. So let's talk about the exterior design quickly.
The only reason the Audi S3 looks a bit old is due to these headlights, and we all know the S3 and the RS3 got 2 new facelifts after this car. Each better looking than the other, and the newer S3 is the best looking out of them. But overall, it doesn't look too sporty. It looks like a boring car, unfortunately. But the RS3 looks much more aggressive. But overall, not a bad looking car. At the side, you get these upgraded Watson wheels which are forged at 20 inches at the front and at the back. Now, surprising thing is the fact that you get the brushed alloy side mirrors that all RS cars get. The S3 gets that as well. Now, at the back, it is quite short, unlike the normal size sedans. Out of all the angles, my favorite is the back, only because the tail lights look very modern. It helps the car look much newer compared to its age, and the only giveaway that it's a proper sports car is the quad exhaust and the S3 badge over here. And if you didn't have any Audi knowledge, you would know what car this is. Let's talk about the interior of the Audi S3, and to be honest, this does not look like a 10-year-old car. The only thing that gives away its age is the driver's display. Now, it is analog with a digital screen in the middle. Apart from that, you can't really tell that it is 10-year-old car. Because look at all of this, it is pretty timeless. It's pretty simple as well. When you can hide away the infotainment system, it well hides that old technology away. But apart from that, look, it's pretty simple, fairly easy to use, and it's well lit as well thanks to the sunroof. This car is highly optioned, and there's going to be upgrades onto the interior as well. Now the seats, heated, they are not cooled or no ventilated. Also speaking about things that doesn't get, no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, but it's a 10-year-old car, so that didn't exist back then. Finally, storage space. You do get 2 cup holders here, which is pretty useful, and like Gavin mentioned, when the bottles are here, especially if you have a bigger bottle, the AC controls aren't really accessible. More storage space in the glove box, and overall interior pretty nice for a 10-year car. And the rear, it's pretty simple, there's not much space, but pretty nice car. It doesn't really, once again, doesn't look 10 years old. Okay, let's go for a drive in the Audi S3. Very first thing we're gonna test is the acceleration beyond sports. Pretty good. It pops some bangs. And the gearbox pretty responsive. Now I have to say, Audi DS3 gearboxes are the best. There's nothing that can beat them. Probably the push PDK system, but wow, let me just shift up, 4th, 5th, 6th, pretty snappy. Shifting down, 5th, 4th, 3rd, wow, pretty responsive. And one thing I will say is the fact that this car is so lightweight. It's even lighter than the RS3 that we tested on this channel, and it's equally as fast. I mean, yes, the RS3 gets 100 more horsepower, but pretty aggressively fast, this thing.
But I mean, for the price of the RS3, you could buy this, you can tune this,
yes,
you can put a ton of mods into it, and you would pretty much have the same car.
Yes, literally. And this is stock. The only thing that's done is the air filter, but honestly,
suspension?
yeah. But I will say this: it's worth the money. It's not a $25,000 difference that you feel between the S3 and the RS3, because this is equally as fast. It's lighter. The responsiveness of the steering is pretty good, and steering, it's very light. The steering column is very, very responsive, and wow, this is a very good car. For 22, the owner got this for 20 grand, and for 20 grand, this is so worth it. And that's where we'll leave the driving experience.
Now, final thoughts on the Audi S3, Manak?
Okay, I will say this. For the price, which is half of the money for the RS3, it's so worth it. Now, yes, it's 100 horsepower less, but you don't really feel that because this car is equally snappy. It does feel fast, and you can spend your money on mods. I mean, the exterior, yes, it's a bit old, but honestly, this car is so worth it for me.
Yeah, I know. But the exterior, you can't tell that it's a vehicle that's 10 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, we drove the RS3, we fell in love with it. Now we've driven this, and now you're like,
The RS
maybe you can spend the same amount of money
and
mod the vehicle,
and
tune
build,
the vehicle.
yeah, and build something better.
Yeah, exactly, and you would be happier. Not that I'm saying that you won't be happy in RS3.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, this is just wonderful.
Yeah, literally.
As a German sports project car, this should be ideal.
Yes, this would be the perfect project car, because like
exactly.
literally it's so cheap. The performance by factory is pretty good, and yes, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's not bad.
Yeah, it's literally it's not bad.
bad.
It's good. Now after driving it, yes, it did change, because like when I was filming, I was like, oh, it's an S3. But after driving, it's an S3.
Okay.
So that's where I will end the video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.